Falling Down, The Negotiator, John Q. All films about a salt-of-the-earth blue-collar vigilante American who takes the law into his own hands against an oppressive system, hell-bent on holding him down. Now, sometimes they're in the right, other times they're majorly in the wrong. But in all three instances, the audience is in for a great time. Well, here we are in 2025, and Tyler Perry has not only produced, but he's also written and directed a film that could very much fall in the same category. Only it's terrible. The movie is called Straw. It's a Netflix exclusive, which is synonymous with absolute garbage. Join me for the next several minutes as I dazzle you with complaint after complaint. Let's begin. Taraji Henson stars as Janiyah Wilkinson, a single mother of one who's having herself a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And I myself was having a terrible, horrible, very bad night trying to get through this pile of shit. But before I dive in, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the show Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, I would absolutely appreciate you for it. There's also a notification bell on YouTube. Smack that bad boy. It's all free of charge. It's a great deal over here. That way, I'll show up further in your feed in the future, giving you these raw takes on absolute dumpster fire films. Now, before I really dive into it, I'd like to first gloss over the storyline and just say this wasn't a bad idea on paper. It goes over some of the oppressive nature of the world we live in, how it's really hard for a single mother to get ahead in this world, let alone just make ends meet. Especially if you grow up in a bad situation and there's just no way for you to get ahead. And that's what happens to our poor Janiyah. She has a child with a lot of complications. They don't really talk about all of them. They just say that she has seizures, and that's a big deal. But unfortunately, the medication is incredibly expensive. And Janiyah's crappy jobs are not going to cover that, the rent of the shitty apartment, or even the $40 to cover lunch money every month for her poor child. And so as this day unfolds, things go from bad to worse pretty damn quickly. And before you know it, our protagonist finds herself on the local news holding up a bank. Every person in this film is a caricature. No one seems even remotely believable. Even if that environment happens to have some truth behind it, they take things to such an extreme level, it's impossible to find believability in any of it. So there's going to be spoilers for this movie that you should not waste your time watching. Tyler Perry's clearly very proud of this, though. It's his production company. His name comes up like 8 times before the film even starts. And maybe he should stick to Medea films, as sad as that is to say, because this was brutal. Taraji Henson, who's typically really good in films, is so insane in this movie. Her character is completely unhinged, but she's supposed to be relatable and likable and sympathetic. She comes off as batshit insane. And I understand she is losing her mind a little bit, but dear gods, I just wanted this woman to shut the hell up after about 40 minutes, which I dare you to get even 40 minutes into this movie without shutting the TV off. Here's how this begins, though. When the film fires up, we see our protagonist next to her child in bed, looking up at a ceiling fan that's broken in a room that's completely disheveled. She can barely afford money to feed the child, let alone pay for the hot water to give the kid a bath. That's not going to stop her from showcasing some of her generosity as she gives a couple bucks to the homeless guy out front, played by Sinbad. I had no idea that was Sinbad until I looked up IMDb and saw his name there, and I was like, what? I went back and scrubbed the movie looking for Sinbad, and sure enough, I was like, wait, that's him? Okay, well, to be fair, he did a good job acting because I had no idea. He's not in it much, but he plays your lovable local homeless guy. You know, maybe if she would have pulled some of that money she's wasting on his ass to give to the landlord, she wouldn't be pissed at her, yelling up a storm, threatening to throw her stuff out into the front lawn if she doesn't get back to this complex by 10:30 to pay her rent on her break. Yeah, that's not happening. And her shit's gonna be out front before you know it. And when she sees her stuff out front, this is gonna lead to our classic bird's eye top-down view of her going, no! Think X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's how many times we get that shot in the film. Everybody in her life is trash. They're unsympathetic, awful individuals who refuse to listen to anything she says. Although, to be fair, she's coming off as a crazy person already. It seems as if she has a few screws loose herself. But I digress. She goes to work at this super center, they call it. It's a pretty small little rinky-dink organization, but it's got a lot of customers who are ready to check out and only a couple cashiers. She waddles her ass to the back where her boss, who is comically mean, like, where the fuck were you? Get out front. You're garbage. I hate you. You're stupid and your face is dumb. I don't care about your sick kid. Boo-hoo. Go up front and do some damn work. She goes up there and instantly a customer throws a bottle at her, which she dodges, smashes on the ground. The boss is right there and he goes, clean this shit up. Someone's gonna slip on it. You're just an absolute dirtbag. She goes to the back to get a mop, taking her sweet ass time, by the way. I'm trying to be sympathetic to this woman, but holy crap, lady, you're not making it easy on yourself. She gets back there, gets a call from the school saying she has to come down there to deal with the situation with her child. Not more than a minute goes by, the boss is already in the back yelling at her again. How fucking dare you leave this place? You have 30 minutes. 30 minutes or your ass is grass, lady. She's like, I can't help it. I have to go pick up my child. I have to go pick up my child. This is how she's constantly acting, by the way. So she leaves frustrated, goes to the school where she finds out they're taking her kid right there on the spot because she's been coming to school unbathed. She's been coming to school very malnourished. She can't afford to eat the lunch. And so she's gonzo. They're going to take her to another place until things get sorted out. It is the last time we ever see this child in the movie, which is kind of wild because we're only 20 minutes in, if that. Janiyah freaks the shit out. Okay, you're gonna take my child! You can't take my child! And then she gets into the car where she's swerving all over, cuts some douchebag off, and this guy is so over the top, insanely unhinged, naturally a white dude. There's only a couple of them in this movie, and they are just the fucking worst. I laugh my ass off. I'm like, oh God, there's another white guy. I can't wait to see how awful he is. And he was awful. This psychopath starts T-boning the side of her car. You fucking bitch. I'm gonna make you pay for cutting me off. He hits her car. She spins around like 8 times. Tyler Perry, for some reason, uses a completely different camera for just 2 shots of this movie. And it's like that high-octane sports style filming where everything's really fast and motiony, but then it cuts right back to the normal kind of lame-looking picture. It's just jarring for no reason. She gets out of the car to look at the damage because the car is no longer running. Conveniently, a police officer lady just happens to be in the area, gets out, asks her what's going on, and just tries to explain, this evil guy ran me off the road. He's unhinged. He's completely lost his mind. And she goes, oh, you mean my partner? And then the white dude gets out, comes rolling up on her, and he's like, just give me a fucking reason, lady. I will blast her right here on the spot. I'm a cop. Because as we know, all cops are racist. No, that's not true. Just the white ones. Subscribe for woke. Now again, obviously some are. There's bad apples in every profession, and they're going to utilize their power to take advantage of a situation. It happens, of course. We've seen it in history books. But the way they present this in the film is so insanely laughable. You can't help but just shake your head and go, are you serious with this? Come on, could we ground it a little bit? So yeah, a tough day at the races for Our Lady, and she goes back to the apartment. That's when she sees her stuff on the ground. She finally heads back to work 2 hours later thinking, I'm not gonna have any issues just sliding right back into my job today. No, she has issues. The boss pulls her in the back, starts reaming her out again. You stupid, arrogant son of a... Oh, hey, what's this all about? 2 bad guys come in and they're robbing the place. But J Money says, enough is enough. I want my check. And I'm gonna get it no matter what. And she needs this money to pay for the lunch, to pay for the rent on the apartment, to pay for the medicine. Like, she's got a lot of expenses. I don't think she's gonna have enough, to be honest with you, but we're never gonna find out. But she does take out one of the bad guys. She shoves him, grabs his gun, and kills the fucker. The other guy, Jolly Willikers, he bails, leaving just J-Town and her boss. The boss, clearly not sympathetic at all because, again, everybody's a cartoon character in this, starts yelling at her again, saying that she was part of it. It was orchestrated because the bad guy saw her name tag and called her name out. She tries to explain it in the most pathetic way possible, of course. He saw my name tag! It says my name right here! Or on this side, I don't know. I'm so completely inept. He doesn't hesitate. He picks up the phone. Beep, boop, beep. Dials 911. Oh, by the way, before they pick up, I just want to let you know you are boned, lady. I am blaming all of this on you. This whole thing pinned on you. You are bad. You're going to jail. As soon as they pick up the phone, I'm telling them you did this. You will never see your child again. You're going to jail. Goodbye. Just to reiterate, you will not be getting your check. You will not be seeing your child. You're going to... You shot me. You shot... She kills him in cold blood. Oh, my paycheck has some blood on it, of course. Just clean that off a little bit. Heads to the bank, doesn't really think about what she just did, and she tries to cash this bish. Goes up to the teller. Teller's like, ID, please. You know me. You know me. I don't have my ID. You know me. The teller won't do it. And so she pulls a Tom Cruise Minority Report, slams the gun down on the table with a spin. How about now? She doesn't do it cool, though. She's like, I just want my money. The teller's like, Jesus Christ, lady. Okay. Hits the silent alarm, and now we are off to the races. The people inside the bank now realize an unhinged person has come in. And this is where a series of stupid events is going to take place. Actress Shepard, the Everybody Loves Raymond cop, she plays the head of the bank here, and she's gonna try to calm the situation as best she can. And as this movie unfolds, everyone inside the bank is gonna find out, you know what? I think I'm Team Janiyah. Ooh, you make my motor run, Ooh, you make my motor run, my Janiyah. And not only will our little J Money win the hearts and minds of everyone in the bank, she will win it across the country. As one of the bank tellers covertly sets up her phone and hits record, capturing all of this in 4K. I know it's in 4K because the phone has it on in the corner. Why? That just makes things even more implausible. I record off of my iPhone and it gets about 1 hour max on 4K, and that's with pretty much none of the storage used. This lady is doing it for multiple hours. Not only that, it gets full-blown stupid later when it decides out of nowhere to start broadcasting live to everyone. How? I don't know. Did she switch over to Twitch or YouTube streaming live? No. She doesn't even go over and touch the phone. I rewound this part like 4 times, scrubbing, looking for when she actually hit. Now, maybe she did. Maybe I didn't go back far enough. But in either case, it's so freaking dumb. It doesn't make any sense. And then we get the montage of people all over the country watching the video. You have the guys at the barbershop all just really connecting to our leading lady. A chef at a bakery watching on her phone in disbelief. A school teacher proudly watching. It touches her not just in the heart, but the vag as well. It's actually now the only way she can achieve climax. What am I even talking about? As dumb as all of this is, we also have the cop aspect of things. There's a couple detectives. One of them's name is Detective K. Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond. There she is. She is a Barbie doll officer. Caked on makeup, full lip gloss, beautiful flowing hair. She is dressed to impress and looks completely out of place and kind of silly. But oddly out of place appearance aside, it's the terrible acting that's hard to ignore. This woman is so wooden and lifeless, and all the rest of the precinct respects her so much for her brilliant insight, except for, of course, the white cops, but that's what you're going to get, of course. They're all terrible. She determines in her infinite wisdom that Janiyah was not the mastermind behind that robbery earlier at the mini mart. No, she's just a woman down on her luck, struggling financially and mentally, and she snapped. And so she requires a woman's touch to talk her down. Not some dipshit guy to get on the phone with her. No. Guys have been putting this woman down her entire life. She needs to talk to a fellow gal. What's so funny about it, though, is there's just the two working theories. Either she was part of this plan or she wasn't. It's kind of obvious she wasn't, but in either case, it doesn't change the outcome or anything else going on. So what if she wasn't involved and if she just snapped and lost her mind? None of that matters because it becomes painfully clear she doesn't know what she's doing as soon as they start talking to her on the phone. And when other people inside the building say, hey, yeah, she's not even robbing the place, she just wants her check cashed, and people are just walking out of the bank whenever they want. The only reason why things have escalated is because Janiyah has a bag on her from her house with possessions, and one of them contains a science project her daughter did with blue and red flashing lights, which triggers everyone to think it's a bomb. You know, your standard bomb that has red and blue flashing lights. What? None of it's good. That's the bottom line. None of it's good at all. And we are going to wind down on this film with a very sad ending where she's going to get a call from her mom that her baby girl has died. The daughter we haven't seen for about an hour died off camera from a seizure because she didn't have her medication, which is going to lead Janiyah to once again go, no! She looks up at the ceiling, and there's a little montage of the things that happened before we got to this point, followed by the SWAT team crashing through the ceiling and opening fire on J-Town. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And it looks like all of it was for nothing. Her daughter's dead. She's dead. And now we can roll the credits on this miserable psych! That was just her playing out a scenario in her head for some reason. I truly have no idea why this had to happen in the movie. I guess to get a gotcha on the audience. No, instead she's gonna get escorted out, gently put into the car, with all of the people around the world that have watched her on video there by her side, cheering her on, signs in the air, asking to free Janiyah. Will she be freed though? Or will she rot away in prison? Well, that might be something we get answered in the sequel, because for now, she makes her way into the car, and the credits mercifully start to roll. And there you have it, the final straw that broke the camel's cock. What an experience this was. Thanks, Tyler Perry. Sure hope that movie studio's working out for you, because it's not working out for me. To reiterate, once again, Straw had a decent premise, just handled in the most miserable way possible, with ridiculous characters, implausible situations, and a final act that really goes nowhere interesting at all. What a waste of time for everyone involved. Acting across the board is pretty miserable, even from our lead, who once again is so obnoxiously over the top, it's hard to sympathize with her in the slightest. Those movies I mentioned earlier, Falling Down, John Q, The Negotiator, much better alternatives, all great movies for different reasons. All right, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching the video. Maybe think about liking this video and subbing to Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. That way you'll see more of me in the future, and I would appreciate it. All right, take care.